Have you ever been in a meeting where you're really trying to listen to the person, but at the same time, half your brain is just busy thinking, I should probably write this down. So instead of actually being present in the conversation, you're scrambling to capture every detail. And even if you can record it on your phone, you usually just end up with raw audio, and then you have to waste time re-listening to the whole thing just to figure out what to do next. So the question is, can technology actually help us focus more instead of distracting us more? Today, we're looking at two devices that claim to do just that. This is the Plaud Note Pro and this is the NotePin S. And these aren't just recorders. Think of them as AI-powered work companions designed to capture conversations from in-person meetings, phone calls, and online meetings all in one system. And I'll show you the exact outputs they generate, summaries, action items, and follow-ups on both mobile and desktop. But does that actually make sense in real life? Let's find out. Now, there are a lot of options on the market. So before we actually get to the hardware, it's important to understand what Plaud is trying to build here. This isn't just a recording device. The idea is that Plaud becomes a central hub for your conversations. So instead of juggling meeting notes, voice recordings, Zoom transcripts, and call summaries, everything ends up organized in one place. And the bigger goal here is something that I think a lot of professionals struggled with, which is reducing the pressure of remembering everything. What's unique about Plaud is that they bridge online and in-person meetings. They aren't just offering small recorders, but rather a more complete AI system for organizing information and making it searchable. The idea here is simple. You focus on the conversation, Plaud captures it, and then AI organizes it afterwards. But of course, the big question is, why not just use your phone? And we'll talk about that in just a minute, but first, let's look at the hardware. Now, while there are differences in features and functions, the first thing you'll notice is the different form factors. The Note Pro is a slim and super sleek looking card-sized recorder that can be used in person, but can also record phone calls, which is super cool. And it uses smart dual mode recording to automatically switch between phone calls and in-person recording modes. And that way you never miss anything. It also comes with a super slim MagSafe case, so you can just attach it to the back of your phone. The NotePin S is a small wearable recorder, and it's designed for in-person, hands-free conversations. There are a few ways that you can wear it. There's a lanyard, a clip, a magnet, and a wristband, which kind of makes it look like a fitness band, and this way you're pretty much set in any situation. Now, both devices work with Plaud Desktop, so you can capture online meetings and in-person conversations all organized in one place. Now, each device has a dedicated button to start or stop recording and mark important moments. Now, the Note Pro also adds a bright AMOLED display protected by Corning Gorilla Glass. The NotePin S is the smaller and lighter of the two. It's designed to be extremely minimal, almost like wearing a small accessory. The Note Pro, on the other hand, is the more advanced version. You get a bit more capability and flexibility, especially when it comes to recording scenarios and AI processing, but both are built around the same core idea: capture conversations without pulling out your phone. All right, so here's how I've made these fit into my life. The first use case I want to talk about is one that I haven't had on any other devices, and that's online meetings. So when you use Plaud Desktop, you can record online meetings without needing bots. You get access to the platform when you register either device, and you actually don't even need to have the Plaud device with you during the meeting. I love the fact that there is no bot joining your meeting announcement. You can let Plaud Desktop auto-detect when a meeting starts, and you can tap to highlight the topic that matters most, and that way the AI summary knows to focus more on that. You can even capture screenshots so the AI can review and understand visual slides and diagrams. And of course, everything is synced and securely available from all your devices. Next, let's talk about an in-person meeting. So it might be a business meeting or a catch-up meeting with another creator. I always find it super useful to know that everything is recorded and I don't need to slow things down by taking notes. I also know myself well enough to admit that I will not remember things if they're not written down. And this is just too easy not to do. Now, normally, if you're trying to take notes during a conversation, you do one of these three things. You either just pull out your phone and you're holding it, you put it on the table and it's recording, or you start typing. Now, all of those things subtly change the dynamic of the conversation. And it's also super easy to get distracted by notifications. With the NotePin S, I usually have it on my wristband, so after a quick mention of what it is, it's completely ignored. The Note Pro is a bit more visible, and I usually have it on the table, but again, after a quick mention, which is usually followed by a comment about how clean and futuristic it looks, it tends to blend into the background. Now, after the conversation, Plaud generates a structured summary, including key points, discussion topics, and action items, and honestly, it's so useful. Now, sometimes these meetings happen on a phone call, and this is one of the major advantages of the Note Pro since it's not possible to record phone calls with the NotePin S. So if that's an important use case for you, you already know which one to get. The next use case is a conference. I go to a bunch of them throughout the year, and I don't want to stand in the booth with a phone in my hand taking notes. Now, this is where the NotePin S is so good. It's on my wrist, and after mentioning that I'm recording the conversation, it's never again noticed, and the conversation flows naturally. With the Note Pro, I do have it on the back of my phone, so it's a little more noticeable, but at the same time, it has a better pickup range and noise cancellation, so it works well in noisy environments. Now, I touched on this a little bit, but a question that I've gotten over and over is why not just use your phone? Your phone can already record audio. You can even record phone calls, so why use another device? And the answer is that the difference is behavior, because phones introduce friction. When you take out your phone during a conversation, people immediately notice. The attention shifts a little bit, and again, the social dynamics change. The NotePin S is a wearable, and it doesn't interrupt the interaction. And even the Note Pro kind of looks like a MagSafe wallet, and it's quickly forgotten. And most important, there are no notifications and no distractions. Now, to be fair, it does mean that you have to bring another device with you, and you have to keep that device charged. So make sure that that's something you're prepared for. Now, speaking of that, both devices fully charge in 2 hours. The NotePin S has a battery life of up to 20 hours, and the Note Pro can go up to 50 hours. So which model is right for you? So get the NotePin S if you want the more minimalistic option, you like the convenience of a wearable, and you don't need to record phone calls. Get the Note Pro if you want the more advanced models, you do want to record phone calls, you want longer battery life, and you want to see the battery percentage on the display. You want better pickup range for large auditoriums and noise cancellation for loud conferences, and you want the recorder magnetically attached to your phone so you don't forget to bring it. Now, one super important consideration is data security, and I'll go ahead and list the compliance specs on the screen. The one that immediately stood out to me is HIPAA, because I have several physician friends, and this is a topic that has come up in the past when we were discussing AI recorders and note takers. So now let's go over a quick list of pros and cons, starting with the cons. So you have to charge and bring another device with you, and the starter pack only starts with 300 minutes of transcription per month. The Pro plan is $833 a month, and that gives you 1,200 minutes, and then the unlimited plan is $19.99 a month, and obviously it's unlimited. If you only record a few meetings every month, then the free starter plan can be enough. If you're having lots of meetings, then the Pro plan makes sense. And if this is part of your daily workflow, like sales, consulting, or healthcare, then the unlimited plan is a no-brainer. Now, as far as the pros, you don't have to use up the battery life or storage on your phone. You are super present in your conversations and meetings without the constant distraction from your phone. And I'm telling you, the interaction is just more natural and more comfortable without a phone on the table. And of course, everything is organized. There's a ton of templates available, whether you're a physician, a salesperson, a consultant, it doesn't matter. You're gonna find something that fits your needs. And all the information is searchable, which becomes even more valuable over time. Plus, using Plaud Desktop makes managing action items and search even easier. And this is where it starts to feel like a complete system that moves beyond the limitations of mobile devices. If you have perfect recall, you might not need a device like this. If you're like me and you appreciate having note-taking and smart summaries done for you, check out the links in the description. The Plaud system isn't really just about productivity, it's about mental bandwidth. And while it does streamline things for me, the more important benefit is that it removes the pressure of remembering everything so I can focus on staying connected to the other person. Would you actually use something like this in your meetings, or is your phone good enough? Let me know in the comments. You know what I always say, buy it nice or buy it twice. Good luck and see you soon.